Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today on the V Squared podcast. I am happy to have our guest today is Darren Davis. And Darren, you are from your LinkedIn profile, so you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area.
Yep, that is
How long
correct.
have you been there?
Let's see here. Since about 2010. Yeah.
Okay. So where are you from originally then?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida. All right,
Yeah.
good.
Go
So
Jaguars.
I grew up just east of Dallas and Shreveport.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm in Boise now, Eagle area,
Oh,
outside of Boise. Been here for since '98, but I know that area very well. We used to go to Dallas all the time.
it's really cool. My wife, she's from actually Sherman, just a little bit north of Dallas, and she, roped me in and lassoed me and pulled me over here.
You
So
like it over there? You like Dallas?
yeah, I really do like it a lot.
I mean, it's
It's
not
got a lot of stuff here.
Jacksonville.
No, it's not Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Jacksonville, I say I like Jacksonville. We lived in St. Augustine for about a year or so after we got married. I love St. Augustine is so beautiful. Jacksonville's huge. It's like one of
yeah,
the
yeah.
largest landmass wise, cities,
Right.
however you say that. But yeah, it's a big city.
I don't know if I've ever been to Jacksonville. I went. We used to go when I was a kid. We would vacation in like Destin, Sandestin area.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, on the coast right there. That
Yeah.
white sugar sand, man, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, when we drive, that's exactly where we stop. We always
Yeah,
do
yeah.
Destin or Sandestin, and we like grab an Airbnb place and we just stay there for the night, and then we drive the next day.
Yeah, that's idyllic right there. If you guys have never been to the coast of Florida, the Panhandle there, it's just a beautiful area. But
Yeah,
so I wanted to jump in to give us a little bit of your background, kind of what you're doing now, your history, where you come up through your career trajectory, and that kind of a thing.
yeah, absolutely, and thanks for having me. Too, by the way, I started out, I guess you could say, in sales. One of my first jobs was a sales job, and I kind of felt like I had a little bit of a passion for it. Just kind of finding solutions for people and making sure that kind of fit. As I started getting into all different sales jobs, and eventually in 2009, I was working for AT&T, the big company,
Hmm.
and I was selling advertising to small, medium-sized businesses. We were doing like yellow pages, and then we started doing a lot of online sales and AdWords and things like that. So I got really interested, and the thing I didn't really like about sales too much was for me it was all about who I'm working for.
Yeah,
And so, I was good in sales, but I was never good under, if you don't hit this number, you're going to get fired, or you're going to, something's going to happen, and then we're going to put more pressure on you, and it's just going to be up and up and up. So, I was kind of looking for a way to get out of that too.
yeah,
And so it just kind of seemed like anything that intrigues me, I'm really, into it. And so that's kind of how I got my start in 2009. I started just learning as much as I could. There wasn't really at the time training that I could find on how to do AdWords and SEO and things like that. So I started getting on freelance sites, like every freelance site I could possibly get on. I was like Odesk, Elance, Freelancer, all those, and then LinkedIn. I was like just trying to connect with people. Actually, like we got connected,
yeah, right.
um, and I was just trying to get some hands-on experience. So for about a year, I did that and learned a lot. And I started really kind of just talking to a lot of people about how they were doing things. And a lot of people were open, some people weren't, but just as much trial and error as I could. And then in 2010, I really felt like I had a decent grasp on, what I could do and what I couldn't do. So that's kind of how this got started. And I said, I might as well create a website and try to maybe I can do a business out of this. I don't know.
Yeah. So
And
what's the name of your company now?
it's Link Caffeine.
Link Caffeine.
Yeah.
So you keep saying, 2010, and I'm thinking, well, that was just a couple of years ago. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost been 6 years
Yeah, that's
already.
how I feel. I'm like, you know, especially after a year of starting it, just kind of the way that things went, and it really felt like it felt like it was, zero time had passed by. But then now we're, about to be in 2016, and I'm just like, man, I've been doing this for almost 6 years now.
Hmm.
So it's kind of cool how time has flown by, and yeah.
So, are you a solo shop, or you have employees, or do you outsource some stuff, or how do you operate your business there?
A mix of both. Me and my wife, we both work together.
Okay,
She actually runs all the stuff I hate and I'm not good at, but she's really good at. So, like project management, back end, making sure that we're hitting timelines, making sure that we're working, the people that we have that are doing work, that we have outsourced or that we have that are kind of working for us on a like a freelance type basis.
gotcha.
She makes sure that they're getting paid, that that we're paying them the right amount, that all that stuff is worked out. And I primarily do a lot of strategy for clients,
Hmm.
some hands-on work, mainly for some of our larger clients. I do that. And then I have a couple of PPC optimizers that I work with, and they, the way that I wanted to kind of structure this was I didn't really want a traditional, agency where I have an office and I'm only hiring people in Dallas. And, I actually, one of my jobs previously was I worked as a remote PPC optimizer for an agency. And
Hmm.
so that worked out so well. I kind of saw, the potential for it.
Good
And
opportunity. Yeah.
yeah, it's a huge opportunity to get really good talent and work with them kind of on whatever basis that they want to work on. So if somebody wants to, if somebody has a full-time job but they're really good at what they do, and I say, hey, if I can use you for 5 hours a week, do you have that? I'll pay you this. Can I get some help? And so that I'm able to, keep things moving. And then some other people, they may have a lot more time and kind of all they do is freelancing, and
Hmm.
they're really good at communication. um, you know, just it was kind of a good fit for how we did things.
It kind of makes me one. Back in the day, I don't know how people even did business without the technology that we have. I mean,
Yeah,
this would have been impossible.
yeah.
Even 10 years ago, for us to sit here and video chat. I would never met you if it wouldn't have been for LinkedIn.
Oh yeah,
And it's
man.
incredible.
LinkedIn, especially in the early days, was like that's how I got pretty much all my business
Hmm.
for client base stuff. In fact, my profile was I had optimized my profile so much and things like that. I had to remove some keywords off of it because I was getting inundated with not like client offers, but people looking to hire me for specific
Right.
jobs. So I was like, then I got an email. I was like in the top 1% of searched profiles, and so I said, okay, that's probably why I'm getting hit so hard with all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
recruiters. So
So let's talk about LinkedIn a little bit then, because like I said, I kind of want to keep this marketing related. And one of the questions that I always like to ask people is how they get new
hmm
business. How do you go out and prospect, and how do you talked about you were in sales. That probably helps a lot. A lot of
yeah,
business owners, they were never in sales. They were good at the operational side of what they're doing.
hmm
And kind of marrying the sales and the marketing. I feel like lately those things have been really disconnected,
yeah.
and we need to kind of merge those back together. So talk about
hmm
LinkedIn specifically. What kind of things would you do there to get new clients?
Um, so I've joined a lot of groups, and that was kind of a big thing for me was getting into these little niche communities.
Mm-hmm.
So and then with the mindset, at first I kind of had the mindset. I think a lot of people is how can I get some business?
Yeah.
But then I started shifting. How can I be helpful? So then I would get into these groups and I'd just start a lot of discussions. There's like some really big groups out there for PPC and inbound
Mm-hmm.
marketing and SEO, AdWords, things like that. So just I think if you really want to get business in whatever area you're in, whether it's marketing or if you own a plumbing company, get into a group and just have discussions with people and try
Mhm.
to spark things. I've even started groups when for instance, we used a software that really isn't around anymore, but I started a group for people that use that software.
Mhm.
And then I just started kind of emailing or messaging, I guess, people that I was already connected to. Say, hey, do you guys use this software? I just started a really good discussion group. Just wanted to make sure, everybody kind of gets value out of this. And with the end goal was, I might get some business from this. I might get good contacts from this. Something good is going to come from, trying to help people. So
Yeah.
that was pretty much the mindset. So I really went at that, and it worked. And so now I don't really have to do that so much because we now have things coming in. But if I was in the position where I really needed some more business and I wanted to use LinkedIn, that would be great. And I probably, now they have where you can write articles and things like that
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, which I think's really
I've
cool.
I've found LinkedIn to be incredibly powerful, and it's been a boon for what we do. I
Hmm.
mean, one of the things that we do, we have I have an agency. We have 9 employees, and we have a lot of creative in house. And so
Hmm.
what we have done is created a wholesale program for independent marketing consultants to
Hmm.
use our creative team. They buy our services at a wholesale rate. They sell them to their client at a retail rate. But I've used LinkedIn. 90% of the marketing consultants that we work with came
Hmm.
through LinkedIn. So it's been a huge
That's awesome.
boon for us.
Yeah.
I like the group idea though, because a lot of times people will go, they're thinking, I want to start a group, and maybe for a marketing consultant, it might be, let's target entrepreneurs or business owners. And that's a really broad swath of
Yeah.
people. But your approach of doing it particular to a specific piece of software is a great idea. I mean, you could go and do Infusionsoft users and
Hmm.
bring in people who use Infusionsoft or HubSpot or whatever it may be,
Hmm.
and really get the focus narrowed down to a very particular type of user. So,
Yeah.
who do you find are good? Who's a good client for you? What do they look like?
Uh, Anybody that has money? No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. That's that old
You
multi-level
know,
marketing. Anybody within
yeah,
3 feet.
yeah. Anybody within 3 feet. No, like we really, really have enjoyed doing e-commerce
Okay.
marketing a lot. And actually, in this past year, we've kind of found a shift where I think I just told somebody like 80% of our clients are e-commerce right now, and
Mm,
then about 60% of that is B2B. So
yeah.
that was kind of the area that we thought, maybe if we start developing some content, we should start doing it in, at least towards something in that area. And we haven't really found a specific niche like healthcare or, insurance
Mm,
or manufacturing or anything like that. But we've done so much with e-commerce, with paid search, with inbound marketing, blogging, and content and things like that. It's been a really good area for us.
yeah. So, are you finding them on LinkedIn as well? And you said you're producing content. Talk a little bit about that, kind of what you're doing there.
Yeah, yeah. So most of our clients, I would probably say that are e-commerce have found us or found me on LinkedIn
Hmm.
and just said, hey, I kind of wanted to start a discussion. I see you guys do inbound marketing or paid search, and you have a focus on e-commerce. So one of the things that we do is we'll talk to a business owner or the team or whatever, um, and kind of develop a strategy around their goals. So a lot of them come in and say, we have some really aggressive goals that we have to hit now. We've hired such and such to, manage these things, and we need to, drive $1 million in paid search this year. And then over the next 5 years, we need to make $32 million, something like that. Um,
Me too.
so yeah, I know, right? I'm like, well, if you find out how to do that without doing any work, like please talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So the situation a lot of people are in, and so we just try to figure figure that, and maybe it's a mix of, here's how much money it's going to take to do that in paid search, which is hard to do. It kind of really depends on the website too,
Mm-hmm.
because some people may have a need for backlinks because they don't really have enough domain authority to get the traffic they want for particular
Yeah.
keywords. So we try to come up with a really smart plan on how to do that,
Okay.
if that kind of makes sense.
Good deal.
And
Well, I really appreciate we're just about out of time here. I kind of wanted to keep it to around 20 minutes. We're coming right up on that. And I really do appreciate you taking the time today to go over some of your strategies and some of the stuff you're doing. It was great to finally meet you and
yeah,
face to
absolutely.
face here. If people want to get in contact with you, what's the best way to do that?
They can go to linkcaffeine.com, or my email address is Darren, Darren at linkcaffeine.com, and I'm happy to, help anybody
All right,
with any
linkcaffeine.com.
questions.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Darren, for joining me again. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Toby Brockner from V Squared Creative. You can find us at vsquaredcreative.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.